What's up, guys? I'm back with another video. I know I just put out a Smash Bros video the other day, but I thought, hey, why not? I got a story that I wanted to tell you guys. This is story time with Sage Gaming. Welcome, one and all. Grab your seats, grab your popcorn, and just enjoy. Not really trying to win here or anything. Just doing something. I'm not good with dittos anyway. But yeah, so my story today is going to be about my roommate while I was in China, and it's an interesting story that I think is fun to tell. So basically, from my roommate, I never met him until I went to China, right? So like we had some group meetings and whatnot, and but I had never talked to this guy before. So it wasn't until we actually met the day we were going to fly, right? We flew as a group. We took the school supplied us with like this van to get us to the airport, and that's the first time I had ever had a conversation with this guy, and I that's kind of when I figured out he was a little weird, right? So I ended up sitting next to him. Not really what I wanted to do. I kind of just wanted to sit up front because I didn't really know anybody, and I was like, all right, I'll just sit up front and just be to myself. But I mean, there was limited space in this van. I think there were quite a few of us. One guy actually met us at the airport, but on the way to the airport, when I was talking to this guy who ended up being my roommate, he was like, we started getting into a political discussion, right? And he told me, or he asked me how I felt about Trump. I'm like, oh yeah, I hate Trump. He was like, yeah, I hate Trump too, but I voted for him. And it's like if you hate him, why would you vote for him? It's that really bad argument. Oh, it's the lesser of two evils. Like, really, like that's such a bad excuse, right? And so, oh, I died again. And so, I mean, that right there was just like weird. And then he's like, all right, stop playing at the edge, bro. And then that same ride, he starts talking about gun control and stuff, and he's like real Second Amendment. He's a real Second Amendment type, and yeah, so it was just weird. That's when I knew this guy is just he's just weird. And then at the airport, we get to the airport and we're checking our bags in, and he's just like, and we're like, all right, let's go check our bags in. We'll go meet over in a spot that we saw, and we're like, everyone just meet over there when you get your bag checked, right? So why is it everyone but this guy actually goes to the spot after getting their bags checked, right? He's the last one to get his bags checked, and we're like all in a group waiting for him to get over there, and he's just gone. We're like, what happened to this dude? Where did he go? So we sent two separate parties to go find him, right? Keep in mind, there's like 8 of us or something like that, and we couldn't find this guy. And it was just like, where did he go? Like, we said meet right there. We were there clear as day. And it was just the weirdest thing. So, this guy, he went off by himself in the airport. No idea where he's at. And nobody has his number except for one person who thought they had his number. And it turns out that number was the guy's, it was his mom. And so his mom now had that person's phone number, and there's like that comes back to the story. Um, but so we're just like, all right, we'll wait, see if he shows up, and he can find his way to the gate. About half an hour later, this guy shows up. He was like, "Where did you go?" He was like, "I just walked where I thought I was going." Like, bro, we said meet. So that was just right there. The guy was just weird and a pain in the butt. And then, so, um, since we're all taking this, taking the plane together, our tickets were booked, and we were, everyone was pretty much sitting with someone from the group except for one person. And so what ended up happening was there's one girl in my group who ended up becoming like my best friend on the trip, um, and eventually my girlfriend, but that's a different story. Um, this guy was sitting. He was sitting next to her, and he was apparently talking to this one Chinese guy that was sitting next to them, and that's where it got a little bizarre because he was talking to the Chinese guy about guns and how America is better because we have the Second Amendment and we have guns. I don't know, but then not only that, but he was like manspreading like super hard and would not stop to let people out. And I was like, all right, well, that's something. Okay, I thought I dodged that, but so yeah, so that was the airport situation with this guy, right? Um, and then so we land in Beijing, and we land in Beijing. We take a bus to the campus of the school we're gonna go into. We get our dorm rooms, and we pick our roommates. Everyone already knows each other, so like everyone was like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna room together." I didn't know anybody. There's an I number of guys, and so one guy got a room with just a random person that was going to the school as well. And that one guy who did that ended up becoming one of my best friends on the trip as well. And so too bad we didn't know each other then because we could have roomed together. But so I roomed with the guy who became my roommate, and you know we got there late, so we got settled, got our beds, and the next morning we were taking a trip to Xi'an, and so I get up in the morning, I shower, and he's like, "Hey, I don't have any body wash yet. Can I use some of yours?" And I didn't think anything of it, right? So I'm like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." And then turns out that this guy, for like a month and a half, was just using my he was using my body wash. I'm just like, and then like when it runs out, he comes to me and it's like, "Hey, we're out of body wash." I'm thinking, we are out of body wash. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, okay, so you haven't gone to buy your body wash yet. That's really weird. We've been here for over a month. We know where stores are. It was one literally 5 minutes from us. There's one on campus that you could have gone to get body wash. But so yeah, we went on a trip to Xi'an. So yeah, we take the trip to Xi'an. I didn't end up rooming with him. I roomed with someone else. Cool guy. But is my good friend who ended up rooming him with that on that trip, and he found out how weird that guy was too, right? Um, so I mean, I had the liberty of not hanging out with that guy during the Xi'an trip. But we get back. We're there for 3 days. So, or I'm sorry, we're 2 nights, 3 days. Um, and you know, everything's cool. Get back to the dorms. And that's just where it gets just super weird. School starts. You're in classes and whatnot, and um, placement test. I mean, I could have done better on the placement test, but back to this guy, right? He he was in his class. Okay, so I want to put it into context for you guys. This school we were at had a lot of exchange students. A lot of were from South Korea. Um, a lot of them were from South Korea, and they had some from different African countries. And we had this person in our group who is from Ghana, and so um, I hope you don't know where this is going yet. So my roommate apparently had a guy from Kenya in his class, and you probably think you know where this is going. You probably do. So he asked the girl in our group if she knew this guy that was from Kenya, and everyone's just like, "Bro, that's not a question you ask. That's just wrong, right?" So just like there, it's like, all right, this guy literally he doesn't. I don't know if he doesn't have the social skills or what, but it was bad, right? Um, and so it's not only that, but the two people who became my best friends, right? They had lunch with them uh, early on, and he told them that his favorite president was Andrew Jackson. Now you're probably wondering why in the world would this guy's favorite president be Andrew Jackson? I don't think he gave a reason why. Knowing history, we know Andrew Jackson was not a good guy. So the fact that that was his favorite president was already a little worrisome, right? Um, so yeah, that's just like it's awful. Now everyone in this group knows this guy is weird, but everyone's being nice. They don't want to make him feel like he's not wanted in the group and whatnot. Including me. I mean, I was his roommate, so it's like I'm gonna be nice as much as I can. Um, but let me just like put this in context. Like everyone has had a bad roommate. Whether they're just noisy, annoying, messy, they stink, they do weird things. Try like putting this guy all into one, right? So, did not. I don't know why I didn't see that coming. So, put this guy all into one, and that's my roommate, right? So, he he didn't. I don't know. He didn't keep a clean space. Like we had this. There was this desk. That's like this 3-part desk in the dorms, so that roommates, there's one in the middle and then one on each end, so you both have a desk to use, right? Now the entire time we were there was just a mess for no reason. Never cleaned it up. Have no idea why he didn't, but he didn't, and that just irritated me on its own. But the other another thing that really irritated me about this guy, right? He um he had a set of earphones and a set of headphones, right? But this guy would play videos out loud on his phone or his laptop, or play his he played this game on his laptop all the time, and he just played it out loud. Like I'm going to bed at like 11 o'clock, and he is still he's still playing it with the volume up. I'm like, you know what I mean? It's just like, why you have headphones? Just get them and use them, or go buy some. Like you can go buy earphones super cheap there, right? Like it's that simple. He never does it entire time, and it's just a really, really irritating thing, right? I hated every second of it. I did. like he was just he was horrible with that. Um, and then so my room, right? So laundry was a kind of, I mean, it wasn't complicated or anything, but you had to buy a card for it to use the wash. Okay, I thought I'd counted there. You have to use buy a card to use the washing machine and the dryer, and I don't think he did. Instead, he just used others cards from the group, and it's like he really could have just bought one himself. I handed my laundry in the tub. You know, it was what it was. But so the first time this guy goes to wash his clothes, he doesn't do it correctly. So what he did was he left he left the clothes damp, and then just threw them into his laundry hamper and just let them sit, right? So like he didn't even hang them up. Like, why would you not hang them up? You know what I mean? It's simple enough. Go get some hangers. I bought hangers and I hanged my clothes. And so yeah, just let them sit in the hamper. And they sat there for like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, we'll say 2 weeks, right? They sat there for a good 2 weeks, and they started to smell really bad, and you could tell, like, everyone who came in my room, they were nice enough not to say anything, but I knew it as well. Like, yeah, it stinks in here. That's because this guy did not dry his clothes correctly. And I mean, it's such a simple thing to do. Just hang them up, bro. Hang them up, and we won't have a problem with that, right? Never did. All right, that's annoying. And so not so that's not even the worst part of it, right? I can open up a window. A friend of mine um, lent me some air freshener. The worst part was that this guy started wearing the clothes that he just let sit in his hamper. I kid you not. He just started wearing them. They smelled horrible. I'm like, how does one do that? Seriously, how do you go around wearing moldy smelling clothes? And yeah, my room for like a good month and a half was just horrid. Couldn't stand it. All his fault. Everyone was nice enough not to say anything, but they knew. They knew what it was. And yeah. So, and the weird, and then like, one of the things he really did that really ticked me off, right, was when I had my friend over. When her and I would talk about something, he would just kind of like jump into the conversation. Like, can you please not jump into this conversation? You know, it really isn't for you. And but he did it all the time. It's like no one asked you to chime in, man. Just back up. This is our conversation. You know what I mean? And yeah, that just irritated the crap out of me. Okay, I grabbed first, but sure. But yeah, he did that all the time. All the time, man. I needed him to back up, let us talk. But one of the things about him, right, was like, okay, so I told you he was totally like into guns and the Second Amendment and whatnot. One of the things about him, he was like really into like World War II and dictators and stuff. Like that right there says a lot. I mean a lot. So he'd be watching videos and talking about this stuff a lot. Like everybody was like, all right, is this guy like is like, does he want, like, is he neo-Nazi? Does he want to be neo-Nazi? Is he just borderline neo-Nazi? You know what I mean? It was just like really freaky. Yeah, so it was really freaky. Um, Nonetheless, I was trying to be nice. You know what I mean? He's a human being. I'm not gonna treat him like an other. I'd be like, hey, when you go grab some lunch, grab some dinner. Um, you know, be chill. Um, yeah. So there was this week that we had off, right? It was Golden Week, celebrating the 70th anniversary of the People's Republic of China. It was 70th this year, or last year, I guess. And so um, some of us traveled, some of us didn't. Those of us that didn't, we got in a group and we did some stuff together. Um, we went to the Beijing Zoo, which is a really depressing zoo. I mean, you can go to it, but it's nothing special. You just feel bad for the animals. A lot of the enclosures are really small. But that's besides the point, right? So invited him because I didn't want to leave him by himself, right? And so we go, um, and that was normal for the most part. He didn't say anything ridiculous. Um, it wasn't until we went to go get lunch that he said something really insensitive. Um, and okay. So okay. Look, we go to this spot, this restaurant that my two other friends and I went to like every day for lunch at this point, right? And so this guy, we were sitting there. There's what? Oh crap! So there were five of us in total at this lunch, right? And this guy, we all ordered. He was like, "No, I'm not hungry," right? So he doesn't order anything. He's just sitting there watching us eat, and he did the thing where he checks his watch like he's got somewhere to be, and that ticks me off when people do that, right? Like, you really don't want to be here with us. You don't have to be. I don't know why he stayed the entire time, but he did, right? And it's just really annoying, right? And so what ended up happening was he said something about China and I can't remember what exactly he said. It was like about China and some more, and it was like super insensitive. And we were like, oh, when he said that, right? My eyes just got wide. I'm like, oh no. I'm just like, oh, come on, man. You can't just not, like, you couldn't not say that. You know what I mean? Um, and I was like, oh god, here we go. And so my friends, they like, dude, hey, let's not bring that up in public, right? Because it's a super sensitive topic. I just knew. I was like, oh, guys, I'm so sorry, right? I know, you know, like, I figured something like that would come out at some point, but yeah. So that happened, and we go home. Needless to say, he didn't really do much with us after that, because honestly, nobody wanted him around, right? So going forward, um, maybe a couple weeks after that, um, I find out that all right. Well, let me put this in context for you, right? So the showers, when you would use them, after you take a hot shower, um, there's like water droplets everywhere. So on the counter, you could see the water, um, and so with that context, right? This guy. I found out, ran out of deodorant, and started using mine. Right? He had to have been using it for a few days. And I found out because I had set it in a certain spot that morning that I had taken after I had taken a shower and used it. And it just so happens that I had to go in back into the bathroom after he was done. And I was like, my deodorant is moved. I'm like, this guy is straight up using my deodorant. And I couldn't believe it. Like, why would you do something like that? Why would you use someone else's deodorant? Like, you don't do that unless it's like a close friend or your brother. You know what I mean? Like, or your sister. Like, you just don't do that. That's so gross. I was so mad that morning, and I don't anger easily. People who know me know I don't anger easily, so I was angry. I grabbed my phone, went on WeChat, texted my friends, and I mean, I just used expletive upon expletive, and they were like, "Whoa," like you were mad, and they were like, "That is so gross," because it is. It's just disgusting. You don't use someone's deodorant. That's the point where I had just had it with him. I just couldn't take it. So, yeah, to find out that someone has just been using your deodorant, that's just like that's something you just don't want, man. You know what I mean? And I just I'm like, bro, you can't be serious, right? So I can't believe that I had to hide my dang deodorant from him. Like I just started straight up hiding it. Um, I shouldn't have had to do that. Like whatsoever. Like that's ridiculous. Am I wrong? Or you know what I mean? Like surely you guys can agree with that. That's wrong. I should not have to do that. I also had to like I also had to take my body wash out of the bathroom so that he would not use it, right? Because I took two things of body wash with me, so I wouldn't have to buy more. Turned out to be a good idea. So can I take that? I can't. Okay. Um, it was a really good idea to do, and yeah, I was just like, I can't believe I had to do this. I can't believe I had to do that. That was the most ridiculous thing ever. Um, but we fast forward. Oops. We fast forward. People are on my side about this. They're like, that's so wrong. You know, I told people basically like, yeah, this guy is using my stuff. And they're like, that's wrong. And so I couldn't believe it, man. Um, fast forwarding, right? This guy he goes like a week um without deodorant, and his clothes smell like mold. I can't tell you, like it was such a bad time. You know what I mean? Oops. It was a bad time. Um, and then so like this, I mean, this isn't really like him being a bad roommate, but apparently like it's just weird. So he failed. I guess he failed the first test that we had, and he was going around telling people that he failed. I'm like, why would you go around telling people you failed? That's such a weird thing to do. And so yeah, so you know, just that was, I don't know, weird. But and we move forward, right? Um, moving forward, we're leaving Beijing. Oops, we're leaving Beijing. We're going to, where do we go first? I think we went to Nanjing first, and you know, our teacher. Oh, that's on me. Our teacher was like, because we had a teacher with us from the school. She's like, all right, when you go, make sure you don't have any kind of like sprayables. You can't take shaving cream. You can't take perfume and stuff with you. And so I I just threw my shaving cream away. I was like, all right, we're not gonna even deal with it. Every other guy threw their shaving cream away. They didn't keep it. But my roommate did, right? So we get to the first train station, and they stop him. They're like, "Hey, you have this. Like, what's in your bag?" I mean, just he makes it so much longer. Which actually that brings me back to a point a little earlier that I forgot. So side note, real quick, we went every Friday. We would have group dinner, and so we were going on this group dinner because it was someone's birthday. So we were like, okay, you get to pick. He picked this Indian place that was like 45 minutes away by Subway, and so we you know we go. Everyone is pretty much like have their Subway cards filled, except for him. Everyone was ready to go to this place, to get on Subway, go. We also had a big paper that was due. So we ended up waiting 20 minutes for this guy to figure out how to put money on his card because he did not go earlier to make sure he had money on his card. Our teacher yelled at him basically for that. I mean, it was a bad and annoying situation. Going back to the traveling. Um so yeah, we had to wait a good extra 10 minutes because security stopped it. And like the fact that we were like traveling like that was already stressful enough, and we had to wait for him because he got stopped by security. Um and so we get through that, and then the next thing that happened, right? Going from Nanjing to Hangzhou, um, this guy he loses his ticket. He lost his ticket, and I like my teacher was just she had such a look of disappointment on her face. I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe he lost it. How do you lose it? Put it in your wallet, it doesn't get lost. Put it with your passport, it doesn't get lost, right? He didn't do that. He couldn't keep up with it. I'm it's like, bro, that's like not okay. He's lucky that he was let on as long as he had his passport. I just like this guy is like irresponsible. He just doesn't know how to be by like off by himself. Um okay, now um fast forward again a few days from that. We're in Shanghai now. And odd number of guys. So one guy has to get a room to himself. He gets it. I room again with my friend Sam, and the guy who's my roommate, he gets his own room. Me, Sam, and my other friend, we all go out and we go exploring a little bit. We go to this mall. We're like, because there was a mall like a 10, not even a 10-minute walk from us. Actually, there were like three malls like right next to each other. So we go there, and another group goes out that which includes a teacher, and this guy apparently was seen walking out of a convenience store um, with just a bottle of vodka, like just about to go get drunk by himself. And he's like, that's just weird, man. Like, you could do something else. You're in Shanghai, man. Go do something. That's what he chose to do. No one saw him for the 3 days we were there. After that, no one saw him for 3 days. Um, yeah, and he's just super bizarre. Um, and then we go to Disney World, right? And which was super fun, by the way. And so Sam, um, my friend, who at that point was actually my girlfriend, um, we're all hanging out together. We end up finding our teacher. We're like, hey, come hang out with us, because she was just by herself. So she joins us. We're hanging out. We go on a few rides, and we go get dinner. And I'm telling her about the whole roommate situation, and she's like, "Oh my god, he's so weird." And we're like, "Okay, this is the professor talking here now." Like, so this guy is just weird. And she told us a story about how this guy was in one of her classes in a previous semester, and it was an evening class, and she was telling us how after one day after the class had ended, he followed her all the way to her car, talking about his guns, and she was like super creeped out when it happened, and I'm just like, rightly so. I was just like in disbelief that happened to her. That's so creepy. Like, she's like, what is he going to do? You know what I mean? Like, that's incredibly weird. Like, he doesn't understand social cues. And yeah, so um yeah, just this I loved every bit of China except for the roommate that I had. I mean, it was just a crazy ordeal. I probably left some stuff out too. Um, yeah, it's just, you know what? I did leave something out. I told you guys that the whole mom thing would come back. So for some reason, this guy was not good at communicating with his mom while he was there, right? And so she called one of the students in our group, trying to get in touch with him. And you know, they were like, okay, I'll try to tell him to call you and whatnot. And then, what ends up happening is his mom um, ends up calling our professor, and she's like you gotta do you have to call your mom. You know what I mean? It's like, there's no reason that your mom should be calling me to get in touch. So I just remembered another little bit to this story, right? So I don't know, how much you guys know about China, but in a lot of places in China, you can't drink the tap water, right? So you have to buy bottled water. Bottled water was really cheap. You get a nice 4 liter of water for like $3. And so that's what we would do. But our teacher couldn't stress it enough. She's like, do not drink the tap water. Don't drink the tap water. What does my what does my roommate do? On like a few separate occasions, drinks the tap water. I'm like, and at one point, he literally drank like 4 liters of the stuff, and I'm like, all right, I gotta tell my professor. I sent it, and she was nice enough to put it in a way that she wasn't like um picking on one person, and she's like she sent it out. She's like, hey guys, remember, we shouldn't be drinking the tap water. I was like, all right, cool. Thanks for putting it that way, because it's just like, I shouldn't. And the thing is, right, the first time he drank the tap water, I was like, hey, you're not supposed to drink the tap water, right? He's like, yeah, I know. I was just really thirsty and I had to get something. It's like, all right. And then, he ends like, and then like, just one day, a couple weeks after that, this guy 4-liter jug full of the tap water. And it's just like, and just drinks the whole thing. I'm just like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Like, how many times do you have to be told not to do that, man? It's just, it's weird that you had to be told. You're 24 years old. You should not have to be told something like that multiple times. I'll take that. I don't know. I couldn't believe it, man. It's like, I'm not this guy's. I should not have to watch over this guy. You know what I mean? It was just ridiculous. I mean, just having that guy as a roommate, it was something else. It really was. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this story. Feel free to like comment on your with your experiences with bad roommates, because we've all had them, man. We have all had them. We have. It's true. Mine just so happened to be like a bunch of bad roommate styles all balled up into one, and yeah. Everyone saw this guy. He was just weird, you know. But no one wanted to be like, hey, you know, that's just weird. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, just treat him like a normal person, and you know, that's all anyone wants. Like, I'm gonna treat everyone with respect and dignity, because that's how I want to be treated. You know, that's how things should be. If you want respect, treat others with respect. Treat others how you wish to be treated. That's it. That is, you know what I mean? That's a moral that everyone should carry with them through life. But I mean, still, I mean, there are some truly weird people out there, right? Like that. There's no doubt about that. Oops. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the story. I don't know. I've just been dying to tell the story. You know what I mean? I've told it to quite a few people after I got back, but I was like, you know what? Why not share it? Why not share it? It's life experience, guys. Bad roommates. Yeah. And I just thought it would be a great idea, you know, just tell a story to some good old fashioned Super Smash Bros. Because why not? Yeah. Like again, guys, I really do hope you enjoyed the story. We're gonna finish out this match. Maybe with a little bit of concentration. Now I'm not telling the story. Back up, please. Nah, you know what? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And until next time, I will see you. Oh. I missed. I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.